Next key one, and this is critical to being in that top 1%, is the mindset of abundance. Mindset of abundance. So quick thought experiment. How many people, what is the population of Earth?
7 billion.
7 billion, a little bit more, but we'll say 7 billion, sure. Of that, how many of those are women?
40, I think.
Yeah, so let's say half, but a little over half. Okay, so we'll just half it. We'll be conservative again. We'll say 3.5 billion, okay? So 3.5 billion women. 3.5 billion. But not all women are attractive, let's be fair, right? And not all women would you really want to date. So let's say, we'll take the top 10%, we'd be happy with that. Well, the top 1%, how selective are we being? Top 5%, what's fair? Top 10? Top 10%? Okay, so top 10% would be 350 million. 350 million in that top 10%, all right? And that already includes age range and whatnot. But let's say that your age range is maybe, I don't know, a 20-year age range, something like that. So 20-year age range. So that means that every year, what's 1/20th of this is like 17.5 billion, is that right? Or 17.5 million, sorry. So that means every year, 17.5 million more girls are aging in to that age range for you, for your availability. Now, first off, do you think you could possibly talk to 350 million women in your lifetime? No. Do you think you could talk? Do you think you could talk to 17.5 million in a year? Absolutely not. So the point is this: you're not going to run out of women. It's impossible. Okay? There is a total abundance of women. So if you're an attractive guy, or if you're becoming an attractive guy, even if you're not completely where you want to be yet, there is zero chance of you not having amazing women in your life, just because the numbers are so much in your favor. Okay, that's abundance. And that's actually the beauty of cold approach. The beauty of cold approach pickup is that very abundance. Because if you live in a world where you have a very limited social circle and you know like 10 hot girls, then yeah, there's not a lot of abundance. You better not fuck it up, right? But if this is your like amount aging in every year, even if you fuck it up the vast majority of the time, right, just numerically, it's impossible you're not going to get a good result, right? So that is abundance. And actually, funny enough, by having this abundance that we get from cold approach, we are elevating ourselves to that top 1% of society. Because take like a tribal sort of situation, basically 1% of the guys, this top 1%, are sleeping with 99% of the girls. These are the only guys that have abundance. So the very fact that you act as though you have abundance, the very fact that you do have abundance in your life, you're automatically going to convey the characteristics of that 1%. Okay? So that's the idea there, is you need to understand abundance, you need to have abundance. And again, doing cold approach is probably the best way I know to have abundance. Other amazing way to have abundance is do online dating and get good at that, right? But anything that gives you an actual funnel, right? Anything that gives you an actual like way to attract a mass quantity of girls into your life is going to give you that abundance. So that's what I encourage you to do. And most problems in game, I won't say they can be solved by increasing the size of the funnel, but they can be mitigated by increasing the size of the funnel. If you're getting enough girls through the start of that funnel, even if you're terrible, you're gonna get a good job. It's like sales. If you have like the superstar salesman who makes one sales call a week, he's probably not gonna sell a lot compared to like total rookie who makes 500 calls a week, right? Your ratio might be way, way worse, but if you just increase the volume, if you just have that abundance at the front end of the funnel, you're gonna do well. Okay, so that's absolutely critical to whatever you're doing. Next thing in terms of abundance is this. Let's say you do believe in this, you're doing a lot of cold approaches, but you're not that good yet. You're not that good yet. And so you're still not quite getting results, and it's kind of hard to keep abundance. This next concept is what I call borrow abundance from your future, okay? So let's look again back at, we'll take my own personal story. We'll take 18-year-old me, and we'll take 33-year-old me. Okay, 18-year-old me was virgin, poor, no sex experience, socially awkward. 33-year-old me is been with hundreds of women, well off, Yes, experienced. I don't know, I'm okay socially. I do all right, so I'm socially okay. All right, so right now, as a 33-year-old, it's pretty easy for me to like see why I can have abundance and see why I'd be attractive for women. It makes a lot of sense. When I was 18, a little harder for me to look at myself in the mirror and be like, you should have an abundance mentality with girls. You can get them all, who cares, right? But the key thing was this, and this is what I always believed. Even when I wasn't doing the best, I always believed inside of this person was this person. I believed in the path and I believed in the journey. And the funny thing is, for a girl, if you are becoming this person, you're already just as valuable, biologically, genetically, as you would be if you already were that person, okay? So borrow that bit of abundance from your future. Understand that if you're going there, in a lot of ways, you are the same as if you already were there, right? And allow for the path. Don't be depressed about it, don't be worried about it. So because I believed in my future, I believed in the abundance, every single time I'd have a positive interaction of any kind, I would get really, really happy about it. I'd be super happy. I just loved it. And anytime I had a negative, I didn't care because I knew that there would be more positives down the road. I knew I was only getting better. So I didn't worry. When I was 18 years old, I did massive cold approach for 9 months before I got my first kiss. 9 months. Was I like depressed and like sad? No, I wasn't, because I went from at first I could barely talk, right? At first I could barely talk. Sorry, barely talk. And then I went to where I could talk. And then I went where I went so I could get a phone number, like on some regular basis. Then I went to where I could get a date. And each step of the way, I didn't care that I still had miles and miles and miles to go. I just cared that I was on the right path, right? Every time it was positive, every time there was success, I'm like, okay, cool. This is where I'm going. So as long as I'm making progress towards that, I'm fine, I'm happy, and I have abundance in my life already, and I deserve great girls because that's who I'm becoming, okay? And that's the idea. It's like, for example, like, not that all girls are into money, but I'm using it as a metaphor. Let's say you met the ultimate gold digger girl. Just imagine the ultimate perfect gold digger girl. Would she like dating Bill Gates? Yeah, absolutely, right? What if she met Bill Gates when he was in his garage just about to start Microsoft? Would that have been a good choice for her though? Yeah.
What about
right?
Ty Lopez in a garage?
That's funny, actually. There you go. Exactly. So the point is, even when you haven't gotten there yet, if you're that person that's getting there, it may not be as obvious for her, but you still are that great decision, right? That gold digger girl still would be well off picking Bill Gates before he made his riches because he was the man that was gonna do it. Similarly, if you are working on yourself and you're becoming the type of man that you can be, you already are the amazing guy for her. And in fact, in some ways, you're actually better for her than when you're on your way than when you're there. Because if she shared that journey with you, the connection is gonna be all the better. Right? So in some ways, you're actually lucky she's actually lucky she met you before you're there yet. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, that's a little bit of a mind fuck right there. But the idea though is borrow some abundance from your future. Understand if you are on that path, if you are gonna get there, in essence, you're already there. But that only works if you actually take the steps. If I said to myself at 18, oh, I'm gonna be amazing later, and then I just sat in my dorm room and never went out, never talked to girls, didn't go to the gym, didn't read, well, then that wouldn't be the case. Okay, but as long as you are actually on that path, borrow that abundance from your future and realize, in a sense, you're already there.